just have to, okay, over here it says to find the area, he has to color. Okay, so I guess he has to color everything here.
Yeah.
But I want you to know this is a, okay, you look at the figure here.
And a cone.
Correct. So you look at the figure here, this is a 2D. You look at the figure, this is 2D. So this 2D is actually a semi-circle and a triangle, right? But we are not talking about 2D here in this case. We should see this as a 3D. 3D means it's a, okay? You know it's 3D. This is 3D.
Yeah, I know what's 3D.
Okay, this is 2D, flat. Okay, so 2D means flat. Okay, okay. So you see this as a 3D. You were right. You were right to say it is a hemisphere plus a cone, and the paint used to paint the area is actually the area of the hemisphere and the area of the cone.
Okay.
Right? So what's the formula for area of hemisphere?
Area of the hemisphere is
Formula, yeah.
3 pi r squared.
How do you get that?
I searched Google. Google says 3 pi r squared.
Hemisphere leh.
Yeah.
Did we talk about we talk about it, right? We talk about sphere or globe, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I can't remember, so I just searched Google.
So yes, you see, so that's the reason why I say it's important you take down some notes. So if they ask for hemisphere area, you just look at that notes, right? Then you don't have to Google, because sometimes I also don't know what you Google. Hemisphere is 3 pi r square.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So, okay, so instead of writing down area of hemisphere, probably you just go for sphere. So sphere is
4 pi r squared.
okay. This one is 4 pi r square. Okay, good.
It's because they included the bottom of the hemisphere.
Okay, good. So you see, that's the thing. So for this one is so I rather write down the area of sphere. So for the area of sphere is 4 pi r square, right? So if area of hemisphere should be
3 pi r squared.
no, just divide by 2.
Yeah, but then you also have to include.
You hold on. Yes, hold on. That's why I asked you to hold on. So area of sphere is this one. So area of hemisphere, which is half of it, should be 4 pi r square, and then you put a half in front, right? Does it make sense? And then that helps you to get 2 pi r square. And you were talking about when do you consider the base of the hemisphere? In this case, do you need to consider the base of the hemisphere?
No,
Why not?
because it's covered by the cone.
Yeah. So basically, not only, so in a way, right? You consider the base of the hemisphere only when you have a hemisphere,
Okay.
or that hemisphere has a base. You know, some hemisphere they don't have a base. It's just a cover, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cover, they don't have a base, right?
Yeah.
If they have a base, that's not a cover already, right? So in this case, do you consider the base of the hemisphere? The answer is no. So that's why the area of hemisphere is not 3 pi r square. It's not, right?
Okay.
Right? So you see, that's the reason why I don't want you to go and Google whenever you need a formula. It's dangerous. You don't understand it, you just pick from Google, you're wrong. In this case, why you should take 2 pi r square for the area of hemisphere?
Because the bottom is being covered by the
Correct.
cone.
Or in fact, there is no bottom. Basically, you just have a hemisphere, which is a cover, and then you have a cone. If I'm not wrong, this is ice cream.
Okay.
Okay? And you don't get to see the. That means basically they ask you to paint when you paint the outside, right? You paint the outside, right? So when you paint the outside, you don't care about what is inside,
Okay.
right? So that's the reason why. What's the area of hemisphere? 2 pi r square.
Okay.
Okay? And if you want to consider the base, then you just 2 pi r square. The base is pi r square, right? Then you just add. So this is to be hemisphere plus base. You should remember it this way. You don't remember hemisphere is 3 pi r square. No. You remember hemisphere as 2 pi r square. And then if there is a base for the hemisphere, you just plus pi r square to it. Because the base is a circle, right? Does it make sense? Okay? So that's how you remember. So once you key in the value into this 2 pi r square, so this is 2 pi r square, right? Then what's the area of cone?
Pi r.
L. Pi r L, right? Is it pi r L?
I wrote pi r bracket r plus.
No, I asked, is it pi r L? I want formula. I ask for formula. You don't give me numbers. You see, are you listening? I ask for formula, right? You don't give me numbers. I don't care about numbers. Because if I get pi r L, I just sub in what is r, I sub in what is L. That's my job to do. You understand? You understand? So whenever you do questions like this, you just give them the formula. The numbers are just numbers. The L can be 12, the L can be 20. You give me, if the question for the L is 20, I just plug in 20. Who cares what is L? I'm asking for formula now. Once I put in the formula, my job is to put it in. Let's say hemisphere 2 pi r square. I ask myself what is r. In this case, 3.5 divided by 2. That's all. Just plug it in. Does it make sense? Same thing. Area of cone.
2 but pi r l.
Pi r L. What is r? 3.5 divided by 2. I don't even need to use my calculator to tell me what is 3.5 divided by 2. I don't. I just sub it in. Later what I do, I just key it in. Let the calculator do all the calculation for me. What's L? How to find L? L. Okay. Can you tell me which one is the L in this case?
5 minus 1.75. It is the bottom of like the 5 cm.
Which one is the L? Okay. Let me double check whether the surface of cone is. You don't look at all this nonsense. Alright?
Okay.
Because you don't know what they one thing about Google is if you have no brain, you go and search for something, you just accept it as it is, that is disaster. Google can only give you information. Right? You still have to decide whether that information is correct or not. Yet if you have no brain, you take anything Google gives you, disaster. That's why I never ask my student to trust Google all the time. I ask my student, if you need something from Google, go and do a search and then use your brain to digest, to understand, to judge whether the information is correct or not. Google is an information sharing website. Google is not going to tell you the truth. Understand or not? Okay? So, once again, what is wrong about this?
It counts the base.
Yeah. Once again, it comes with the base. Did you use this formula?
Yes.
GG. Okay? That's why I asked you to write down. I asked you to write down what is the formula for the cone. And this is wrong. Yep, it should be pi RL. It should be pi RL, which is here. Okay?
Okay.
Which is here. So the area of the cone without the base is pi RL. So if there is a base, you just plus. If there is a base, you plus.
Plus pi. No. Plus pi squared, pi r squared.
Exactly. Because that's a circle, right? If there is a base, I plus pi r squared. If there is no base, I don't add the pi r squared.
Okay.
Simple as that. So if the pi, okay, now the question is which one is the L in this case? So now you need to focus your attention on the cone, which is here. Which one is the L? Okay, which one is the height of the cone first?
5 cm minus 1.75 cm.
Okay, so 5 cm, this is 1.75, right? Which is the radius, right? So 5 minus 1.75 is the height of the cone, right? Which is?
3.25.
Yes. So it's 3.25. That's the height of the cone, right? Which is here. Okay, then which one is the L? What's the meaning of L?
Length
Length of?
of the cone.
Which one is the length of the cone? There's the height of the cone. There's the radius of the cone. Then which one is the length of the cone? You look at the cone. Capital L stands for length. But this one is not a capital L. This is a small letter L. So small letter L represents?
Liters.
No. In this case, I'm talking about in this case. This is the cone. This is the radius. This is the H. Yes. The L represent this slanted side. Because the slant, I remember this. Okay?
Okay.
So how do you find the L?
A square.
Yes, use Pythagoras theorem. A square plus B square
equals C square.
equals to C square. So which one your A?
A is R.
Yes. Which one is your B?
B is the height.
Yes. And then equal
C
to
is L.
L square. Yeah. Okay. So that's how you find L. Once you find L, you just plug it in.
Okay.
You don't do it any other way. You don't follow your whatever. I don't know where you get those from. My approach is always formula, put it down, formula, put it down. My job is to give the value of R. My job is to give the value of R and L, and that's it. And then I let the calculator give me the answer. I'm not going to do intermediate step. For area, for volume, that's the way to do it. Write down the formula. My job is to give it the value of whatever letters you need.
Okay.
Okay? And don't just Google for formulas. Okay? If you have no brain, if you are not smart enough, you just take information from Google without filtering it. Disaster. Okay? Good. So we are done with this question. By the way, they ask you to take pi as 22/7. But never mind about that. The whole idea for this question is first, hemisphere formula 2 pi r square. Cone surface area formula pi r L. And I'm talking about the hemisphere and the cone, they both don't have the base in this case.
Okay.
Right? If they have the base,
Pi r plus pi r squared.
yes, for both. Right? Yeah. Don't have, so I don't have the plus. Okay? And of course, what is L? Slanted side of the cone. Slanted side. So the L, can you see slanted? Can you see S? Slanted. Can you see SLANTED?
Yeah.
There's a L here, right? So that's why this is the L. That's how you remember the L. Okay.
Okay.
Length. The capital L is length of. Usually is length of a triangle. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next. So for this question, the next question here, I think this question is also what they ask. Yeah. Once again, is the area. I think it's pretty easy to find the area because why? What do you have? You have a cone. And what else do you have? You have a
Uh,
cylinder.
cylinder.
And your job is to give. Okay, so we have the area of a cone already, right? So we look at the area of cone. What's the area of cone?
I got it wrong.
Never mind, pi r l. Of course, you were wrong. You were wrong here. So I guess you'll be wrong here as well. It doesn't make sense if you are wrong here and then you will be right here. It doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, what's the formula for cone surface?
Pi r l.
Pi r l. We're not talking about the cone with the base yet, right? Let's not consider that. So basically, if you use pi r l, so you which one is the L?
The slanted line.
Which is here, right?
Yeah.
So seems like you don't have that. You only have the height, which is 6, right? And what's the radius? So seems like you need to read here.
5 divided by 2.
Yes.
2.5.
Yes. So it's 2.5. Okay. So just that's how you find L. Okay. Next, how do you find the area of cylinder? Now, of course. So basically, we have considered this surface already, right?
Yeah.
And now we need to look at what other surface we have, right? So I see below there's the base here, right? So the base, this circle is which circle? The small one or the big one?
The small one.
Yeah. So basically, so the small one is the. Yeah, can you see base of the cylinder?
Yeah.
Diameter is 3. So formula base is pi r square, right? Right. My job is
Yeah.
to just key in the r. R is diameter is 3. So just 3 over 2.
1.5.
Okay. I don't even need to care about what is 3 divided by 2. I just key into my calculator.
Okay.
Okay. So with this, I think we are left with this area, right? How do you find the side area of a cylinder?
The side area of the cylinder.
Can you remember what shape is that? The side of the cylinder?
Square.
Square?
No, not square. Rectangle.
Yes, it's a rectangle. But how do you get the? So this is the. Okay. Yeah. So you always when you get the side area of the cylinder, you always think of this. And you open it up.
It's a rectangle.
There's a rectangle. So this one will be your length. The length, right? So this length is.
20 cm.
Yes. So I'm going to do this. So let me just tidy it up a little bit. So it's length times breadth. So the length is 20. Then what's the breadth? Which is here, right? And the breadth turned out to be the
Circumference
of the.
of the base.
Yes. Yeah. So the circumference of is 2 pi r, right? So I just r is 3 divided by 2. I don't even need to figure it out. Why I need to figure it out? Well, I can just key this into the calculator. 20 times 2 times pi times 3 over 2. They will give me the area of this side, right? Okay, now, do you think that's it? So you have this part already. You have this part already. And then you also have this part. Then you just add these 3 up and then you will get the area.
No, you still have to add the base. Like,
Which one?
there is like that one circular base.
Yeah,
below
actually
the-
it's here. Actually it's here.
Yeah.
Do you know why they consider the over here, the base of the cone as this. Do you know why? Why they give like a blue color, like a blue color ring?
To show that that is the area that is like that is the area of the base that is not covered by the cylinder.
Yes. Or if, because over here they talk about you need to paint the entire thing, right? So in fact, right, you don't have to paint the white portion. Do you know why? Because the white portion
It
is
the cylinder. It is
correct.
covered by the
Correct. So you just imagine, I don't know whether you can imagine or not. So let's say this is the cone now. So you have this. So this area you don't have to paint it.
Okay.
Right? That's why you only need to find the area of this ring. So what's the area of this ring? How do you find the area of this ring without the white portion?
Find the area of the base and then
Find the area of the big one.
Yeah, and then find the area of the small one and then
Minus.
the big one minus the small one.
Correct. And then that is the fourth area you need to find, and then after that you just add this, add this, add this, add the four of them up. Okay? So when it comes to surface area of solid, volume of solid, you have to do it using this strategy. Okay? And I think you already had a first taste of how to get surface area in your Sec 1 exams. That kind of question. They give you something like this. And they ask you to find the surface area of this prism. And then you have to consider front, back, left, right, top and bottom. And then you find the area of each. Okay? And then you have to add them up, right?
Yeah.
So over here is it's about the same thing. It's about the same thing. But of course more complicated. Why? First, okay, over here is trapezium, rectangle. Okay? But over here it involves more shapes. Cone, the side of the cylinder, area, and in this case the area of circle, the big circle might have to minus the small circle. Okay?
Okay.
Yep. So over here, when you go to Sec 2 next year, which is not too far away, after your holiday, after your this Australia trip, you'll be back. That will be like December already, and you're only 1 month away, and we only have one lesson per week. Okay. Of course, barring any unforeseen circumstances, I might be busy 1 week, you might be busy, or you might get sick. So we only have like probably like four more lessons before you start your Sec 2. Okay, and I can guarantee you Sec 2 is going to be a very hectic year for you, and then you will feel like you are drinking water from a fire hose. Okay, a lot of information, not only for mathematics. Okay, so please remember the approach. The approach is always about get the formula. Once you get the formula, sub in the value and solve them individually. Then after that you just add them up. Okay, so these two done. Okay, so you better take down some notes about the area of all the shapes. Okay, so for similar shapes or figures, okay, so let me just give you a simple example.
None of
It's
them look alike.
4:45.
Yeah.
I don't know how they are similar at all. None of them look alike.
No, of course you don't know how they. Okay, when they tell you it's similar, when they tell you it's similar, that means they are similar. But of course, let me give you another example. Then you will start to see. Oh, actually, you should do it this way. Okay. Okay. So first thing first, if I tell you this one. Okay, there are two triangles in this one. Can you see or not? There are two triangles in this one, and then this is A, B, C, then this is A, B, C, D, E. So if I tell you triangle A, B, C is similar to triangle A, D, E. So the first thing you need to do is you need to match. How to match? A match with A. So I recreate the two triangle ABC, and then I need to recreate this ADE. Right? I need to recreate. Okay? And then when I recreate them, the question I need to so when you recreate these two triangles and they are similar and you need to match them. What do I mean by matching? A match with A. So A, if A is here, I need to put A here. Can you see the second letter B? You match with the D. So if the B is on top, the D has to be on top. That's how you match. So B match with D, right? That means the B of this here match with the D of this. So the C of this one match with the E of this one. So if the C is here, the E has to be here. That's how you match.
Okay.
So only when you match it this way, what you have? You have them in the same orientation. Do you know why you need to have them in the same orientation? Let's say same portrait mode. Landscape. Do you know why you need to have these two in the same orientation?
Because you can tell that which parts of them are similar and how they are similar.
Actually, they are similar already. Actually, when you put them in the same orientation, then you can tell that AB match with which one?
AD.
Exactly. So AB match with AD. Okay, let me not confuse you with this. Okay, so I just use. Okay, I'm going to use a different color. And then BC will match with DE. Yes. And then of course AC, which is the base here, right, will match with AE, which is the base. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to get them in the same orientation. And then of course the angle. So angle A is equal to angle A. Okay? Then this angle B is equal to this angle D. Does it make sense? And then this is 90. This one has to be 90. That's how you match. So for similar figure, right? So for similar figure, corresponding angles are the same. Corresponding angle means the angles corresponding means these two are called corresponding. Same, they are at the same place.
Okay.
Then these two, they are at the same place, right?
Yeah.
Then these two, they are the same place, right?
Yeah.
You cannot tell me, A is equal to E. No. Angle A here is not equal to angle E. You know why? Your angle E should match C, right? Your angle D should match with B, right? Your angle D here will not match with A. If you put them in the same orientation. That's why I say corresponding angles are the same for similar triangle. So corresponding angle are equal. That's the first conclusion for similar figures. Then of course, the second conclusion you can have is if AB is 1, AD is 2, what's the meaning of that? That means triangle ABC is double to become triangle ADE. So similarly, if AC is 3, what is AE?
3.
AC is 3, this is 3.
4.
4?
Wait, no. 6. Sorry.
Why 6?
Because 3 times 2.
Yes. So you just ask yourself, when it comes to the length, so over here is times 2, right?
But it shouldn't be.
Then this is also times 2, which is 6. 3 times 2 ma.
But it shouldn't be there.
Why not?
The side, right,
Yeah.
plus the bottom should be smaller than the slanted line.
Oh yeah, very good observation. Okay, so yeah, so basically this I so called I make up the numbers here. I have not factored in that Very good. I have not factored in that, so the numbers doesn't look right. Probably you should say the number doesn't look right. So over here should 10, so this will be 20.
Okay.
Okay? But the idea I want to talk about here is not about the longer side should be, yeah, the longer side should be the longest. Okay? But the idea I want to talk about here is if over here this is 10, this is 20, what this means is the small triangles is double to get the bigger triangle. So therefore your this base 3 also have to be double to get A. Okay?
Okay.
So with this understanding, most likely you can solve this question. 17. The first question you ask yourself, are they in the same orientation?
No.
If they are not, then you have to rotate one of them to get it into the same orientation.
Yeah.
How do you decide which one match with which one for these two?
The bottom one match with that one.
Yeah? No, it has to be, right? This is question 17, right? So they say the triangle in each pair are similar, so you only can look at these two. So how do you reorientate? Which one you prefer to reorientate?
So I turned it. Okay. When I was doing this question,
Yeah.
I turned it around many times.
Yeah.
I cannot find how it will match.
Okay,
to
no problem. So if
the
you make
other
use
two.
of if you do it on an iPad or something, I think it's easier. It's easier. Where is the? Never mind. Let me just get it one more time. You use it. You do it on an iPad. I think it's easier. Why? Because you can rotate. You can rotate figures easily. So I just need to. Actually, you can do you can either do this or you can either do that. So let's do this. So I just do it here. So basically, this one is this one. So I just have to rotate. So first I rotate like this first.
No.
Do you think they look the same?
No.
No, right? Then continue. Actually, before you do the rotation, one thing I want you to see is you need to decide which one is actually similar to which one. What I see is this one is actually similar to this one. Okay?
Okay.
So if this is the top, I mean if this is the B is the top, right? Then the T is the top. So that means, does it make sense for me to rotate this such that the T is on top? At least I should get it this way first. Right? Whether I need to do a flip, that's another question. But I don't think I need to do a flip. Okay? So the question I ask myself whether I need to do a flip is whether so this is 70, right?
Yeah.
I hope you can see that this side is longer than the 70.
Yeah.
This side. So you just ask yourself, is this side longer than 60 or not? I don't think so. I think this side is longer than. Okay, I think this side, right? I think this side here, right, is longer than 60. Okay? So if this side is longer than 60,
They look the same to me though.
you mean this one and this one look the same?
Yeah.
I think if you use the ruler, somehow you measure this side should be longer than 60. Why? Because this one, the angle for this is actually so the 60 is okay. The 60 is like this, and now that side is more like this.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when it's more like this, over here should be longer.
Okay.
Like this is actually shorter. Like this, if you need to hit that side, has to be longer than 60.
Okay.
So that's why I can conclude that this side is longer than 60. So now my question, the question I ask myself is this longer than 60? If it is, then same orientation.
Okay.
Okay? If this one is shorter than 70, then you have to do the flip,
Flip.
which is, if you can use the technology here, you just do they call it the flip horizontally. This one. But if I flip, it doesn't make sense because the longer side in this case has to be on the left, right? So I shouldn't do the flip. But at least I know the B and the T should be both on top, right? So I don't have to do this flip. So if you have this, okay, they are in the same orientation. So once they are in the same orientation, ask yourself, 60 match with 70, right? So what's the jump? Not plus 10, huh?
Times like
Yeah, times what? Yeah.
uh,
If it's not a very good numbers,
times 7
mixed number.
over 6.
Very good. So you times 7 over 6. So similarly below here, 50 match with this should times 7 over 6 to get this 11x minus 4. So therefore 50 times 7 over 6 is equal to 11x minus 4. Can you see it's 11x 11x minus 4 here?
Yeah.
So therefore you just use your calculator and then solve this algebra question.
It's a
yeah.
mixed number.
It's okay. They say find x, right? So x can be a mixed number. Yeah?
Okay, so then
What is x?
that means x will be 4 over 4 and 31 over 33.
Okay, so let me just use a calculator. Okay, can I borrow your calculator? Double check for you. So first I need to use 50 times the 7 over 6 and then plus the 4 and then divide by 11. Quite nice, leh. 5 and 2/3. How you solve this algebra? You show me how you solve the algebra.
50 times
7 over 6. Yes, yes. Yes. Not yet. I want to find x.
Oh, and then minus 4.
Minus 4.
Oh wait, plus 4.
Yeah.
And then divided by 11.
Correct. Yeah.
5 point. Wait.
Yeah.
5
5 and 2
and
third,
2
right?
third.
Yeah. Yes, that's how you get the x. Okay. So similarly, if you need to do the rest of the question, you just have to reorientate the rest of the figures. So how do you okay, which one you want to reorientate for question 18? This one. So I think you can tell BC should match with what?
BC should match with EF.
EF, right?
Wait, no, should match with DE.
D.
Yeah, DE, because that side is short, and then okay, EF is short, and then AB is also short, and then because
Okay, which one is the longest? Okay, this one is the longest, right?
yeah,
So in this case, which one is the longest?
DEF.
Yeah, okay, good. So that means you need to get it. At least you need to get this one. You need to get it to there already, right? So the 21 should be where?
21 should be AB. Wait,
Okay, so you are trying to tell me. Let me just get it. Let me just get it out. Huh? Okay, so we have a consensus. So we both agree. It can be like this. It can be like this. Can be. Doesn't mean this. It must be like this. Then another thing. Another orientation can be this. It can also be like this. Because this one and this one both allow you to have your this
It's 5 o'clock.
match with this.
but drop.
Yeah. So now the question is, your BC match with this EF or your BC match with your this one?
Match with the second one.
Over here, right?
No, don't.
Or this one?
Yeah, because you see, right, that line
Yeah.
is longer than the horizontal line, which is AB.
Yeah.
And then the only line that is shorter than that line
Yeah,
is
very good. So that means,
that one.
yeah, so that means this is out. So it should be this one, right? Very good. That's how you decide. Understand or not?
Yeah.
That's how you decide. So like you said, this one is shorter. So okay, we both agree it has to be like this, right? Then the next step we need to ask ourselves is 77 is actually shorter than this one, right? So 21 is shorter than 30. Yeah, so this is the way. Then now you match, huh? Which one match with which one? So the 77 match with 21, right?
Yeah.
So you just ask yourself, so how 21 times what to give you 77?
21 times
What to give you 77? So what is the factor?
21 times 11 over 3.
Okay, so times 11 over 3. So similarly, this one also must times 11 over 3 to get that 11x plus 11 is equal to 30 times 11 over 3. So what's the answer?
110.
Which one is 110? You remember 110 here? 11x
yeah.
plus 11.
Yeah.
Yep. So what's the x?
9.
Yep. So that's how you get 9. Okay?
Okay.
So that's how you do these similar figures. Okay?
Okay.
First, if they tell you the two of them they are similar, get them into the same orientation, then you match. Once you match, then you see what's the factor. Okay? Actually, similar figures is similar to the map to real life kind of question. Over here, the map to real life, right? So if you want cm, right? This is probably like 4 kilometer, right? So actually over here there is a factor. What's the factor? The factor here is times. So you need to get this into cm, so it's 4,000. This is meter, so another is cm. So actually you need to 1 cm to times 400,000 to get 4 kilometer. So in this case you times 11 over 300. Okay?
Okay.
So can you do the 19 and 20 on your own now? I think this one is very easy to see.
Can you zoom in?
They already orientate them for you already, if you can tell. For this one, they already orientate for you already. You don't have to you don't have to change the orientation. This one is this one and this one. This one you need to probably do some. So you need to take the two triangles out. The first step is to take the two triangles out and get them into same orientation. So what I see is this one.
Sure, I'm trying to draw it out.
Yeah, please. So you have JUT, then the other one is JKL. Yeah. So 36, 96, 27, 72. This one is 64. Okay. So how do you do it? Just briefly explain.
So first get the two figures
Yeah,
out.
yeah, which is here.
Yeah, and then 36 times 8 over 3
Yep,
is
times
96.
8 over 3 to get this. So
Yeah, so everything else is just times 8 over 3.
Yep.
So 64 divided by 8 over 3
Very
equals
good.
to 24. 24
Very
plus 4 equals 28. 28
Yep.
divided by 4 equals to 7.
very good. Yeah, so that's how you get it. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's how you get similar figures. So what about it? 20? I think you need to reorientate one of them.
Okay, I think I know how.
I guess the V and the U is the same thing, right? Or is it the same thing?
That's my guess also. So,
How do you decide actually?
see which one matches up with whatever one.
No, how do you decide whether V is equal to U in this case? That's my point.
Well, ST match with EW.
Again?
ST
Uh-huh.
matches up with EW because they are both straight lines.
Okay, hold on. Hold on, let me just bring it up a little bit. Okay, so so this ST matches with what? Oh no.
EW.
UW.
Oh yeah, UW.
UW, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means you agree that the V and the U, they are the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, if you decide it this way, that means the only way for them to match is just flip vertically lah. That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 18 will match with this.
Okay, give me 1 minute. I'm still writing.
Then that means it doesn't make sense already.
How?
Because okay. So you see. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, your first attempt to match them might not be correct. Then you have to accept. Oh, this is not the way to.
Can also turn into ST is equal to VW.
So actually, right, in this question, right, I think your this UW, it matches with this UT. You know what's the reason?
Because wait.
Okay, let me just do it. You said UW matches with this, right? So that means your this you need to flip, right? So that's the reason why I really think that it's good to do it here, because if you do it here, it's very clear cut. So you're saying this one match with this, right? Like this, right? And then if this two they match, then clearly your 18 should be,
No, like
the
this.
18 should be here.
Flip.
Yeah, I know, you need to flip horizontally further, right? Yeah. Like this, right?
Yeah.
Then you have a problem.
Because the 24 cannot match up with the UW.
Exactly. So in a way, right, if next time you reorientate it this way, your first attempt, and you realize 42 match with UW and UW is not given, then you cannot find a factor already. You cannot find a factor already, right?
Yeah.
So that means your this is not correct. Then you have to try to reorientate this another way. Okay? So another way I can see is, does it make sense?
Yeah.
So then you can match with 24, 88, then 18 to this. Yeah, so this one makes more sense. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. So can you continue with this? Yeah, so that's how you decide whether your these two are in the same orientation. If they are not in the same orientation, you cannot figure it out. Okay, so what is the factor from 24 to 88?
11 over 3.
So it's times 11 over 3. So similarly, this one also must times 11 over 3, right? Then, okay, good. Okay, of course, if you go from the small one to the big one is times lah. So from the big one to the small one is divide. You can also see it this way, but it's divide.
Yeah,
Okay, so it really depends. You want to get from here the small one to the big one, or the big one to the small one. So small to big, of course, times you times to get bigger number, right? So you want to get smaller one, then you divide. Okay, so very simple. Okay, good. So similar figures, basically, the two things you need to take note of is, so first thing, corresponding angles are equal. A correspond to this A, B correspond to the D, then this C correspond to the E. Okay? Corresponding angles are equal if they are similar. Then of course, the second conclusion you can have is ABC in this case is double to become ADE, so that means the factor is actually 2. The factor is 2. Of course, it depends whether it's times 2 or divided by 2.
Okay.
When is divided by 2? Big to?
Small.
Yes. When is times 2?
Small to big.
Yeah, but the factor is 2.
Okay.
Okay? So if the factor is 3, it can be times 3 or it can be divided by 3.
3.
Yeah. So it depends whether you look at it from
the factor?
Yeah. So the whole thing is you need to find out what's the factor.
Yeah.
Once you find the factor, you either times it or you divide by the factor to get from big to small or small to big. Okay? Good. So we take a 5-minute break before we talk about